Hello, everyone. As acting president of the Sudbury District Labour Council, it is my solemn honor to welcome you all to the 2020 Workers' Day of Mourning virtual vigil. On April 28th, across the country, workers, retirees, leaders, activists, and their families come together to remember those who have lost their lives, had their lives changed forever because of something that has happened in their workplace. This year feels different, and it is different. The COVID-19 pandemic has changed the way we live and work. Right now, the sentiment of this day is more necessary than ever, as millions of workers who have been deemed essential are risking their well-being every day, hoping that others are taking all the right precautions. And so we join together to honor and observe this moment as we remember and recommit to protecting workers and preventing future tragedies. Though in the context of this global pandemic, we can't gather in person, the enduring message of this day is even more meaningful. We come together today to mourn for the dead and recommit to fighting for fair wages, adequate paid sick leave, and proper job precautions, now and once this crisis is over. The next several speakers are labor and community leaders whom I am pleased to welcome and thank for joining with us to mark this 2020 National Day of Mourning. Thank you.
Hello, bonjour Annie. Le 28 avril, jour de deuil national, nous venons ensemble traditionnellement sur le campus de l'Université Laurentienne. L'Université Laurentienne est située sur les terres traditionnelles des Atikamekw Anishinaabeg et la ville du Grand Sudbury comprend les terres traditionnelles des Premières Nations Wanapité. Bien que la pandémie du COVID-19 nous ait empêchés de nous réunir en personne, je sais que beaucoup de gens de la région du traité Robinson-Huron de 1850 ont envoyé des messages vidéo. Au nom de l'Université Laurentienne, j'ai le privilège d'envoyer ce message en hommage aux travailleurs qui ont été tués, blessés ou rendus malades au travail. J'aimerais également envoyer un message personnel de gratitude à tous les travailleurs de première ligne de la pandémie de la COVID-19 qui travaillent à assurer la sécurité de nos collectivités. L'Université Laurentienne s'engage à soutenir ses partenaires communautaires de plusieurs façons, notamment en faisant le don d'équipements de protection individuelle, en imprimant des pièces pour les écrans faciaux et en prêtant des lits d'hôpitaux et en effectuant des recherches sur le COVID-19. Je tiens à remercier le Conseil du travail du district de Sudbury, le Conseil canadien du travail et le Centre de recherche en santé et sécurité au travail d'avoir réuni les membres de la collectivité pour souligner cette journée importante. En terminant, nous renouvelons notre engagement à l'égard de la santé et de la sécurité au travail et reconnaissons qu'ensemble, together, même oui, notre communauté appuiera tous les intervenants de la première ligne de la pandémie de COVID-19. Merci, Miigwech. Hello, bonjour, Annie. On April 28th, the National Day of Mourning, we would traditionally gather on the Laurentian University campus. Laurentian University is located on the traditional lands of the Atikamekw Anishinaabeg, and the city of Greater Sudbury includes the traditional lands of Wanapité First Nations. Although the COVID-19 pandemic has prevented us from gathering face-to-face, I know many from across the region of the Robinson-Huron Treaty of 1850 have sent in video messages. On behalf of Laurentian University, it is my privilege to send this message to honor workers who have been killed, injured, or made ill in the workplace. I would also like to send a personal message of gratitude to all the workers on the front lines of the COVID-19 pandemic that are working to keep our communities safe. Laurentian University is committed to supporting our community partners in several ways, including donations of personal protective equipment, 3D printing parts for face shields, lending hospital beds, and conducting research to address COVID-19. I would like to thank the Sudbury District Labour Council, the Canadian Labour Council, and the Centre for Research in Occupational Safety and Health for bringing together members of the community to recognize this important day. In closing, we renew our commitment to the health and safety in the workplace and acknowledge that together, ensemble, même oui, our community will support on all the front lines of the COVID-19 pandemic.
Hello, everyone. Bonjour, Ani. Because of COVID-19, things are a lot different this year, and we all recognize that. And we're used to coming together on this day to show our solidarity and commemorate the lives of those who've been killed, injured, or suffered illness from workplace incidents. And even though we can't be together in person, the importance and message behind this day remains the same. Workplace incidents impact more than just the worker. They impact the families, friends, co-workers, and the entire community. And today, we're united in renewing our commitment to ensure no more preventable tragedies occur. In times like the one we're in, we quickly realize, especially for essential and frontline workers like our hospitals, grocery stores, and mines, just how important a safe work environment is. So many people are putting their health and safety on the line every day during this pandemic, and they're doing it for others, and in turn are asking many of us to do our part by staying home. We owe a great deal of gratitude to so many people in our community and all over who are doing incredible things to keep us safe, keep us healthy, keep food on our tables, and allow our society to continue. And for that, I say, thank you. And in renewing our commitment this year, not only do I want to take a moment to thank all of those from our local unions to partners like CROSH and Workplace Safety North, who continue to work tirelessly for a safer workplace tomorrow, but I also want us all to commit to ensuring that those who are there for us have the resources and supplies to do their jobs, because every worker deserves to come home safe. With that being said, thank you all for taking the time to be a part of this Day of Mourning ceremony and for being a part of a united commitment to workplace health and safety. Thank you. Merci. Miigwech. And I'll now read the proclamation. National Day of Mourning, April 28th, 2020. Whereas every year, more than 1,000 Canadian workers are killed on the job, and whereas thousands more are permanently disabled, and whereas hundreds of thousands are injured, and whereas thousands of others die from cancer, lung disease, and other ailments caused by exposure to toxic substances at their workplaces. And whereas April 28th of each year has been chosen by the Canadian Labour Congress as National Day of Mourning for these victims of workplace accidents and disease. A day to remember the maximum sacrifice they have been forced to make in order to earn a living. A day to renew approaches to governments for tougher occupational health and safety standards and more, effective compensation. A day to rededicate ourselves to the goal of making Canada's workplaces safer. Now, therefore, I, Brian Bigger, Mayor of the City of Greater Sudbury, do hereby proclaim April 20th, 2020 as National Day of Mourning in the City of Greater Sudbury in recognition of workers killed, injured, or disabled on the job. Dated in Greater Sudbury this 28th day of April 2020.
My name's Nick LaRochelle, and I'm the president of the United Steelworkers Local 6500. We know how important it is to gather together on the day of mourning so that we can remember our sons, daughters, mothers, fathers, brothers, sisters, and co-workers. However, amidst the ever-changing COVID-19 pandemic, what is most important today is the health and well-being of ourselves and our families. I would like to thank all of our members who continue to show up for work because they cannot perform their job from home. We're working together with you every single day to make sure the controls being used are the best possible for your safety and the safety of your loved ones. I would like to recognize all the essential workers who continue to go to work amidst these uncertain times. Your efforts matter. The mining community, construction workers, city workers, and our local grocers, retailers, pharmacies, nurses, and countless others are doing the work that really matters. Thank you. You should be proud of yourselves and each other. This is the true character of our community. Keep up your fight for a safe workplace and a safe community. It is paramount to us that we stick together and make it through this pandemic. When this is over, we will look back at our actions and be very proud of our accomplishments. Please continue to contribute to the best of your ability, and we'll return to the state of stability that we now realize is so precious to us all. Thank you and stay safe.
On this day of mourning, I mourn the workers who have died on the job, and I will continue to fight for the living to prevent illnesses within the workplace.
On April 28th, Day of Mourning, I want to take this time to recognize all the workers that have gone to work and not yet returned home to their family and friends.
Sudbury Integrated Nickel Operations is keeping us safe and healthy at work during COVID-19.
My name is Tiffany, and I am a nurse on a dementia unit. One of the biggest issues we face is staffing and the lack thereof.
We work in long-term care, and we wear masks to protect the vulnerable.
My name is Marcel Chano, and I'm president of My Mill Local 598 Unifor. On behalf of our executive board, active members, and retired members, we remember. We remember those who lost their lives in the workplace. And in these unprecedented times, please stay strong and stay safe.
Compensating toxic exposures gives dignity. Eliminating toxic exposures saves lives. I see you, I thank you, I fight for you.
Hello, Annie, bonjour. My name is France Gelina. I'm the MPP for Nickel Belt, and on this rather peculiar day of mourning, I would like to thank all of our healthcare workers, whether you work in primary care, acute care, mental health and addiction, long-term care, we thank you and give you our assurance that we will do everything we can to keep you safe. À tous les travailleurs et travailleuses de la santé, un gros merci. Vous êtes nos héros. Merci.
I just wanted to take this opportunity on the Day of Mourning to say a big thanks and recognize all the healthcare professionals out there that make sacrifices daily for all of us.
With the current global pandemic ravaging our community today, I would like to take out this time to appreciate and acknowledge all healthcare staff who are out there doing their best to keep us safe.
Thank you to all frontline healthcare workers who are working to keep all of us safe in these times.
OSSTF thanks all healthcare professionals and essential workers taking care of our community.
During this pandemic and difficult times, I specifically wanted to thank and extend my appreciation to one of our many essential workers, our healthcare professionals. They go in every day and they put their lives on the line in order to save many others. It is because of you that we have hope for better days to come. Thank you.
Thank you to all the healthcare workers, including nurses like my mom, sister Shelby, and cousin Lauren. I'd also like to thank all of the long-term healthcare workers, including two of my sisters, Maggie and Tracy.
On this Day of Mourning, I would like to thank all my colleagues in healthcare and all other workers in the service industries who help keep this country running. Thank you and stay safe.
To all the emergency responders, prison guards, paramedics, delivery drivers, grocery store workers, and government workers who keep working through this crisis, I thank you on behalf of all the people of Sudbury. These difficult times, we lean on those on the front lines more than we have a right to. And we are grateful for all that you do for us and that you are there for us. Thank you.
I want to thank all emergency responders during this time, especially my friends in policing, fire, corrections, and our paramedics. Your service is heroic every single day, not only during this pandemic.
Thank you to all the healthcare workers and emergency responders keeping our community safe.
Sending a big thank you to the emergency services for their courage and selfless work.
I also want to take this time to thank all the first responders and first-line healthcare workers who are working so hard to secure our communities. I want to send a special shout out to Thunder Bay Fire Rescue and the Thunder Bay Professional Firefighters Association for everything they're doing to secure our community here in Thunder Bay, Ontario. In particular, I want to thank Chief Hank Keogh, Dennis Breskison, and Firefighter Bill Doug for everything they've done to support our work. Thank you.
Adam here with Sudbury Paramedic Services. Just wanted to take a quick second to thank everybody who's battling on the front lines of this pandemic and to thank those of you for staying at home to help flatten the curve.
I'm Marc Serry, MP for Nickel Belt. On the International Day of Mourning, we honor those who have lost their lives in the workplace, those who have had accidents at the workplace. We have to do better. We have to do better at all levels of government. We have to do better with management, with employees and unions working together to ensure that we have zero accident, zero deaths at the workplace. It's very important that we provide that education. So thank you to all the workers. Thank you to the steel workers local that have provided that leadership over the decades to ensure that we have zero tolerance for any accidents and zero death at the workplace. On this National Day of the Mourning, as we do this celebration virtually, thank you for doing what you do day in, day out, and thank you, and make sure we reach out to families in need.
Thank you to our transportation workers for keeping our food, goods, and essential workers moving during this time. Your selflessness and hard work is invaluable.
Thank you to the truck drivers and delivery workers who are keeping our shelves stocked through this time.
J'aimerais remercier tous les camionneurs et camionneuses qui continuent à servir nos communautés.
Thank you to the truck drivers for transporting the items that we need and making sure they get to where they have to go.
Thank you to the women and men truck drivers who are spending long hours on the road keeping our food, fuel, and supplies restocked during this crisis.
We'd like to thank our fellow drivers,
dock workers,
dispatchers,
mechanics,
and frontline workers.
Thank you, Essential Services.
I would like to recognize the people working in the mining industry. They are working hard under challenging conditions at this time to keep a very important natural resource available for us all. Thank you.
Thanks to workers in the natural resources sector who are repurposing their supplies and equipment to create hand sanitizer, ventilators, and other equipment for local hospitals.
Thank you for all the essential workers.
Thank you to all our essential service providers.
Thank you to scientists for trying to make a cure, and to teachers still giving their students work.
I would like to take this time to thank all of the frontline service workers in my hometown of Timmins, Ontario. Whether you are in healthcare, in the automotive industry, in social services, or in the food industry, your contributions are greatly appreciated, and I, for one, am personally grateful. Thank you.
To the everyday heroes working on the front line, the Operating Engineers Local 793 honor and thank you on the 2020 Day of Mourning.
I'd like to acknowledge and thank all the occupational health and safety professionals out there that are supporting our frontline workers. Thank you so much.
On behalf of QP Local 4705 and its executive, we would like to thank all essential workers for making a difference through this pandemic. We hope you remain safe, and we thank you for everything you're doing.
Thank you to all our essential workers, including wildland firefighters, for working to keep us safe.
Thank you to everyone working in our grocery stores. You've been incredibly patient and kind and understanding throughout everything. Thank you.
A huge thank you to QP 2599 Developmental Service Workers. We are in this together. Stay strong and stay safe.
Merci à tous les travailleurs essentiels. Quel que soit votre rôle, on vous apprécie.
I want to express my heartfelt appreciation for all of the retail workers. I'm personally incredibly grateful for all of the work that you're doing to keep our community safe, fed, and supported. Thank you.
Thank you to all the leaders in our community who have taken the time to honor the workers who have been killed, injured, or who have become ill due to occupational sicknesses during their line of duty. And thank you for continuing to fight for those who are still working. This is for the leaders who are elected by their communities, those who work in our public services, our fire, police, education, religious, local business, and community activist leaders. Day of Mourning 2020 has landed on unprecedented times, and the work that you have done and continue to do has never been more important. So thank you. Remember to stop the spread, stop the pandemic at work, mourn for those who are gone, and fight for those who are living.
I'd just like to take a moment to thank all of our leaders, politically, community-wise, industry, and education, who have really scrambled to quickly respond to our changing community needs and to make things safe for workers and for our children. And I know that they've dedicated hundreds of hours, both personally and professionally, and I'm grateful. They're making the world a better place. Thank you, leaders.
Good morning. My name is Jamie West, and I'm the MPP for Sudbury. I think I speak for the entire community when I thank and acknowledge everyone for doing their part to make the difference. I'm thanking workers now working from home or continue to work in essential workplaces. I'm thanking supervisors and employers, those who are listening to and working with their employees to reduce the risk of contamination. I'm thanking shoppers who are choosing home delivery or those who are wearing protective masks while in retail stores. I'm thanking teachers and parents for helping their children continue to learn. I'm thanking anyone who is socially connecting with friends and family to keep their spirits raised. Sudbury has a proud history of successfully overcoming obstacles and challenges, and I'm confident that together we can make the difference against COVID-19. On this day of mourning, just like every other one, together we'll mourn for the dead, and together we'll fight for the living. Thank you. Merci et miigwech.
Hi everyone, my name is Lisa and I'm a firefighter with the City of Greater Sudbury. I just want to say thank you so much to absolutely everyone who is working during the COVID-19 pandemic. Stay safe out there.
Thank you to everyone who's being a good neighbor, who's practicing physical distancing, and who are doing what they can to support our frontline workers.
Merci à tous ceux qui restent à la maison et suivent les consignes de distanciation sociale en ces temps difficiles.
Thank you, homeline workers, for keeping us safe.
Thank you to all the frontline workers, the personal support workers, the truck drivers, the grocery store workers, the researchers, and everyone else that's working to try to keep us safe during COVID-19. Let's fight for the living and remember those who have been injured or hurt on the job.
Remember our 3 basic rights at work that are protected in health and safety statutes in every jurisdiction in Canada. Your right to know, your right to participate, and your right to refuse. Once this crisis is over, we must commit to fighting for fair wages, adequate paid sick leave, and proper job protection. As workers, retirees, leaders, activists, and allies, we must continue to come together to make every workplace safe and healthy for everyone. On this day of mourning and in the context of this global pandemic, we once again commit ourselves to mourn for the dead and fight for the living. N'oubliez pas que nos 3 droits fondamentaux au travail qui sont protégés par les lois de la santé, de la sécurité dans toutes les juridictions au Canada sont le droit de savoir, le droit de participer et le droit de refuser. Une fois cette crise est terminée, nous devrons nous engager à lutter pour des salaires équitables, des congés de maladie payés et une protection adéquate de l'emploi. En tant que travailleurs, retraités, dirigeants, militants et alliés, nous devons continuer à nous unir pour rendre chaque lieu de travail sûr et sain pour tous. En ce jour de deuil et dans le contexte de cette pandémie mondiale, nous nous engageons à nouveau à faire le deuil pour ceux qui nous ont quittés et à lutter pour les vivants. Merci.
on your lungs. I'm a working man, I am, and I've been down underground. Swear to God, if I ever see the sun, oh, for any length of time, I can hold it in my mind. Never again will go down underground. At the age of 64, he'll greet you at the door, and then he'll gently take you by the arm through the dark recess of the mind. He'll take you